Many people dress warmly in winter and still feel cold. They wear thick coats, heavy sweaters, and multiple layers, yet the chill never really goes away. That usually leads to one conclusion: it must be the weather. But in reality, winter discomfort is often caused by small, everyday dressing mistakes that quietly work against your body. Things that seem harmless, or even logical, can actually make you lose heat faster. In this video, we'll look at 5 common winter dressing mistakes that keep you cold, and why fixing just a few details can make a noticeable difference in how warm you feel throughout the day. Mistake 1. Wearing too few layers or too many. One of the most common winter mistakes is relying on a single thick item instead of layering properly. A heavy sweater or bulky coat may look warm, but warmth doesn't come from thickness alone. What actually helps your body stay warm is trapped air between layers. When you wear just one thick piece, there's very little air to hold heat close to your body. The opposite mistake happens just as often. Some people add too many layers without thinking about how they work together. The result is overheating, sweating, and then feeling cold once the body slows down. Moisture trapped under too many layers cools the body faster, especially when you step outside again. Good layering isn't about adding more clothes, it's about adding the right ones. A thin base layer, a breathable middle layer, and a protective outer layer create space for warm air while still allowing moisture to escape. This balance keeps your temperature more stable throughout the day. When layering works, you don't feel hot or cold, you feel steady. When it doesn't, your body keeps reacting instead of settling. Many people blame winter for this discomfort, but in reality, it often starts with how layers are chosen and combined. Mistake 2. Ignoring the neck, head, and hands. Another common winter mistake is focusing all attention on the coat while leaving smaller areas exposed. A warm jacket helps, but it can't fully compensate for heat loss through the neck, head, and hands. These areas play a much bigger role in how cold your body feels than most people realize. When the neck is left open, warm air escapes quickly. Even a small gap around the collar can make your whole body feel colder, especially in wind. The same applies to the head. A light hat or beanie may seem optional, but without it, your body has to work harder to maintain warmth. This extra effort often shows up as cold hands and feet. Hands are another weak point. Thin gloves, tight cuffs, or bare wrists reduce circulation and make it harder for warmth to stay where it's needed. Once your hands feel cold, your entire body tends to feel cold as well, even if the rest of your outfit is fairly warm. The solution isn't heavy accessories, but smart ones. A soft scarf that seals the neck, gloves that allow movement without squeezing, and a hat that fits comfortably can dramatically change how warm you feel. These small details don't add bulk, but they close the gaps where heat quietly disappears. Mistake 3. Choosing the wrong base layer. The base layer is easy to overlook because it isn't visible, but it has a huge impact on how warm you feel. One of the most common winter mistakes is wearing cotton as a base layer. Cotton feels comfortable at first, but once it absorbs moisture, it stays damp. That moisture pulls heat away from your body and makes you feel cold, even under thick layers. Another issue is choosing a base layer that doesn't match your activity level. Some fabrics feel fine when you're standing still but struggle once you start moving. Others are designed for movement and end up feeling too warm and uncomfortable indoors. When the base layer isn't working with your day, the rest of your outfit can't fully compensate. A good base layer should help your body stay balanced. It needs to manage moisture, respond to changes in activity, and feel comfortable over time. That's why materials like wool, silk, or synthetics behave so differently in winter. Each one solves a different problem, and using the wrong one can quietly make the cold feel much worse. When people say they just can't stay warm in winter, the problem is often right against their skin. Fixing the base layer doesn't always mean adding warmth. It means choosing a fabric that supports how your body actually moves and reacts throughout the day. Mistake 4. Wearing tight clothing that blocks circulation. Tight clothing might look neat and feel secure, but in winter it often works against your body. When clothes are too tight, especially around the legs, waist, wrists, or feet, they restrict blood circulation. And circulation is one of the key factors that keeps your body warm. When blood can't move freely, warmth doesn't reach the areas that need it most. This problem shows up often with skinny jeans, tight thermal leggings, snug socks, or gloves that squeeze the fingers. Even if the fabric itself is warm, the pressure reduces heat delivery. As a result, hands and feet feel cold first, and once that happens, the whole body starts feeling chilled. Tight layers also leave no space for warm air. As mentioned earlier, air trapped between layers is what actually helps retain heat. When clothing fits too closely, that insulating air disappears. Instead of feeling protected, your body loses warmth faster, especially when standing still. Winter clothing should allow gentle movement and a bit of space. That doesn't mean oversized or bulky, just enough room to support circulation and layering. When clothes feel comfortable rather than restrictive, your body can regulate temperature more effectively, and staying warm becomes much easier without adding extra layers. Mistake 5. Not adjusting layers throughout the day. One of the most overlooked winter mistakes is wearing the same layers all day, no matter what changes around you. Many people dress for the cold outdoors, and then keep everything on once they move indoors. At first, this feels fine, but slowly the body overheats, sweat builds up, and moisture gets trapped inside the layers. The problem appears later, when you step back outside. That trapped moisture cools down quickly, and suddenly you feel much colder than before. It often feels like the cold came out of nowhere, but in reality, it started indoors. The body never had a chance to reset. Winter comfort depends heavily on small adjustments. Opening a jacket, removing a scarf, or unzipping a layer for a few minutes can prevent overheating. These simple actions help moisture escape and keep your base layers dry. Dry layers are far more effective at keeping you warm than damp ones. This doesn't mean constantly changing clothes. It means staying aware of how your body feels and reacting early. Adjusting layers before you overheat is one of the easiest ways to stay warm throughout the day, especially when moving between indoor and outdoor environments. Staying warm in winter isn't about wearing more clothes or heavier ones. It's about avoiding small mistakes that quietly drain your body's heat. When layers work together, circulation stays free and moisture is managed. Winter feels much more comfortable, even on the coldest days.